What's up guys, Devin Ryan VITEK here. So someone on YouTube wanted a tutorial for a Starcrawler song, Love's Gone Again, on guitar, and I'm going to give my best shot at it. The cool fact about this song is it always kind of reminded me a little bit of City Slang by the Sonic Rendezvous Band, and I know Henry Cash is a big fan of MC5, so I always thought that was kind of cool, because you'll notice some similarities in, the chord structure and I don't know if that was an influence or not, but that both songs are amazing songs. So we'll get right into it. So the song is in A, and it kind of follows like a very normal, like A minor kind of bass line and chord structure. But it actually starts off when Henry comes in with two open strings, B and E. So it'll sound like this. You'll hear the bass line playing through the main chord progression. I think about 2 times, and then you'll hear Henry come in, and it's just the B and E strings open. So there's 2 high strings. Just play those together, and it sounds like this. You can also hit the harmonic there. That might be cool too. And then after that, he lets that ring for a little bit, so don't mute it or anything. Just let it ring out like this. He's going to play these open string licks, and the thing about these licks that I want you to understand is that the E string is always open. The only note that will really be changing between is going to be on these B string notes on the 1st, 3rd, and then eventually the 5th fret. But it's going to sound like this, and I'll play it fast and then break it down for you. So what he's doing there is that, and I would use your index finger for this part, and then you could switch around which fingers are easiest for you. The reason you want to use your index is so you can actually reach this 3rd fret easier. If you use your first finger, you're going to have to actually waste, in my opinion, like a easily got movement between your first and your ring finger. If you use your ring finger for the whole thing, it'll feel lethargic for you. And this next part basically is open strings, and then he's going to add his index finger to the first, only on the B string, so it'll be like this. And then the 3rd string to end that kind of lick. So very slow, it's like this. So again, you want to keep that B string open, but play the B and E together. So it'll sound like this. Be careful not to bar your finger or play the F on both the B and E on the 1st and 3rd frets, because otherwise it'll sound like this. And remember, we're just playing 0 to 1 multiple times on the B, but keeping the E open. And so he'll play through that a couple of times, and then he'll go up to this little motif after that, and he's going to be on the 5th fret on the B, and then the E's going to be open, but you'll notice it's just a unison lick because they play the same notes, E and E. Kind of a Becker Baby's Dragon thing. That's how I remember it in my head. But so it'll sound like this. So he plays that unison lick a couple times, and then he's going to add his pinky or whatever finger you're fretting with to the E string on the 5th fret to basically play a miniature A chord. So if this is the whole like a big A power chord, with the high strings, he's just playing the high strings. So it'll sound And then you also hear after that a big slide down the fretboard. So, and you can really slide from anywhere up top. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I think it would be difficult if you try to exactly find the, what would that be, 17th fret every single time to try to hit the A note. You could just, that's the whole point of a slide, is just getting the effect of it, the sound of it, not necessarily an entirely accurate, sound out of getting, pinpoint A or accuracy. But regardless, you'll get a big slide down, and you're going to follow the bass line and basically chords throughout the entire song. And it's going to be sound like this. So what that is, I hope you know your power chords, because this song is basically just built upon them. And this is where I was saying it kind of has that sonic rendezvous thing, because it's good. These main chords are going to be A, G, F, and D, and you can play D here, or D also in the 5th position on the 5th fret. But he's kind of just doing a descending line and then going back to the D. So very slowly with your A power chords. Hopefully you know your shape of your power chords, and it'll just be like this. Now he plays them open before the verse, and Arrow starts singing. Open, I mean no palm muting. I was palm muting it just so you could see what the chords are slowly. But and that little part at the end with the D chord, if you know your major chords, it's kind of like a power chord. Then you just roll your ring finger so you can get the major 3rd, and you're just going to add your pinky and get the 8th fret on the B string. It'll sound like this. Very common in rock songs to have that suspension. But after that, when the verse starts and Arrow starts singing, and he goes to the D, he's going to let out a big A and just let it ring, just like this. And then he's going to have another slide. Palm mute. So he's basically following the pre-verse chords, and palm muting them so he doesn't take up too much sonic space over Arrow singing, which is a good move, because whenever the singer starts singing, you don't want to solo over the singer, and you don't want to always have the strings be the loudest thing at that point. The lyrics need to take over, at least in my opinion. So that happens, and I'll just kind of play through the verse for you a little bit slow, and then you'll hear how it is. So I'll start from where we start in the open strings, and I'll play through it, and probably won't be exact, but I just want you to hear how it should sound. Pre-verse. And one short thing to notice is that before the vocals start, is that Henry hits that G a little early on the second time before the vocal starts. So instead of this, It's more, he hits it just earlier, and I'm sure you'll be able to figure that out and hear it. You don't have to hit it exact. I'm sure it was just something like he did in the moment, and since they've recorded, I think, to tape, so you don't want to mess. You want to keep the imperfections on there so it's actually feels live. So it's more. And so the chorus chords are basically be more power chords, and they're going to be F all the way up on the 8th fret, up to G, and then to D. And that's what I'm hearing, is that I know in the video I played it like this. And I guess what I did was okay. I mean, I technically played an F because I was stretching all the way to here and playing that chord, but you don't have to do that. You could just play the chords. It's easier. And so it's going to be F, D, F, G, D. So that's the chorus, and that's all it is. And I added some octaves in there. You could play around with that if you know your octaves. It's basically just staying in the scale, and I just did it to add some flair to it. It could make it exciting when I played it, and stuff like that. And then it gets back into before the next verse starts, but there's a change. No key change or anything, but it happens again where you have the same chords. So instead of just having the D suspension there, to end it, it's going to be basically, I call them, you could call them dyads, 2-note chords, but you could also call them broken chords. Steve Clark chords, if you want to call them that. I love Steve Clark from Def Leppard, so that's how I see it. But it's going to be 5 and 5 on the G and B strings, and 7 and 7 on the G and B. So it's just back to A. Play through it like normal. So those are the only differences and the big things that I could think of while trying to play this song and remember, is that little change. Because it also appears at the end during the guitar solo. And the guitar solo, I just improvised something in the moment. But I know the rhythm at the end of the guitar solo, at the end of the song, again, they have that C to D. But I hope that helps you. And yeah, I mean, I think if you need any pointers, I can help you out in the comments. I hope I got everything. And I guess a little tidbit I'll leave you with is the reason I said it sounds like a City Slang by Sonic Rendezvous Band is, there's a part in City Slang where it follows those same chords, like... And the chords we have are, the same chords. So something really cool, I don't know if Henry was listening to Sonic Rendezvous Band when he wrote the riff for it, but that's just something cool that I, figured that he might have put in the song. But either way, I hope that helped you. I would love to do more Starcrawler tutorials in the future. I'm trying to learn more of their songs and refine some things. I know I did a Hollywood Ending cover. That one was really fun, of course. and but there was a Vox video that he showed Henry and the chords he was using, but I don't think it's on their Instagram anymore, and I didn't screen record it in time because I'm silly like that. So hopefully I could get some more Starcrawler content out in the future. Can't speak. But yeah, thanks so much. Peace out.